seat, sip some wisdom, and stay a while. This is the Prosperity Lounge, where growth gets personal. Step inside, we're breaking chains.
All right. Hello, hello. Hopefully everybody can hear me. Still getting used to this new setup here. Move. Perfect. Awesome. Put my design in there. All right. We are live here at the Prosperity Lounge behind the scenes, getting ready to start the show. I have Jennifer Belle. Well, I said in my head the whole time it's Belle, and I said, I don't know why I said Joe. Jennifer Beal.
But she is a big star.
And the one I'm worried about mispronouncing the most is Steve. Because I've heard Steve's last name pronounced 45 different ways.
3 syllables. Krempasky.
Krempasky.
Very easy.
All right. So you're going to correct me a couple times on the show.
Well, you don't have to use my last name much. That's why I use Mr. K.
Mr. K. Gotcha. Perfect. Can you hear us okay there? Can you hear them okay? All right.
Yeah, I work with all these high schools and get the kids to just call me Mr. K.
Okay, yeah. I
Perfect.
should put mine Belle with an E, or just like Belle, but with an E on
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Well, that's how they said Belle in Disney,
it.
right?
Yep.
Belle with an E.
That's right.
It's not as fancy as it looks. It's
Okay.
not.
Should be able to hear all of us at the same time. Maybe she's a little
Check,
soft.
check, check.
Mine's
Her
not.
little,
Hello?
her little
Check.
light's not on over
Check,
here.
check.
Is it this time? She should be connected.
Oh, is it on?
Okay.
Should I talk
All
louder?
right.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
You're
do
soft
talk.
spoken,
Yeah,
it sounds
hang
like. You need to
Yep.
not be this time.
Now, don't get too far away. You got to stay in the
Okay.
camera.
Yeah.
There you go.
I-
Then the mics are. You can
I
take
did
the
take a
mic off.
shower. I don't know.
It doesn't actually just hit all the hole in your hand. So you
Okay.
actually pack the hole in.
Okay.
Mhm.
So perfect. So what I'll do is when we get ready to start, I'll take you guys off camera, I'll do the intro, then I'm going to bring you back on, and we'll be ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
So tonight we are highlighting Shop Farragut and Smoky Mountain DockDogs. I'm excited for this one because I love this event. I love going to it. So we're gonna have a fun time. Get ready to start soon. We got another minute or so.
Scooch this way. There you go.
See? Okay.
That's yours. Okay, perfect. You guys are good. We have about a minute. And music is starting. This is the Prosperity Lounge, where hope meets freedom and growth gets personal. I'm your host, Joey Ruffalo. What do you get when 150 dogs, 400 jumps, and 10,000 cheering fans take over a shopping center parking lot? Well, you get Dog Daze IX, one of East Tennessee's biggest and most beloved community events. This isn't just a fun dog show. It's a nationally sanctioned competition, a small town success story, and a huge win for local business. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on how Farragut, Tennessee turns splashdowns into economic growth and how you can be a part of it. Plus, we'll learn all about Smoky Mountain DockDogs, the organization behind the event. So let's pull up a chair and dive in. Get my guest on here. Perfect. So joining me tonight, two people. Someone who's no stranger to turning parking lots into packed out events. Steve Krempasky, Executive Director of Shop Farragut, the organization behind many of the town's most loved events, including Dog Days, and Jennifer Belle, President of Smoky Mountain DockDogs. Steve, Jennifer, welcome to the lounge.
Nice to be here. Thanks, Joey.
Thanks for
Absolutely.
having us.
You're welcome. Steve, I'm going to start with you a little bit here. Tell me a little bit about Shop Farragut, most importantly, what its mission is and what your role.
Well, about 15 years ago, a group of business people in Farragut wanted to really take away the stigmatism about doing business in Farragut, Tennessee, and they got together and formed a nonprofit, a 501c6 civic organization that they, as volunteers, put together with a board of about 7 guys and gals that all own their businesses there, and to work with the town and help develop as Farragut grew. There's a lot of issues between what the town wanted to do and the residents and what the businesses needed to do to generate enough a critical mass to stay to keep their doors open and everything. So some of it had to do with negotiations with sign ordinances and with just the business conditions and just making people aware of that. And this is just about the same time as Turkey Creek has just started. Okay. So they all got together and they had an executive director. There was a lady before me, and they started to come together and do programs that would help highlight and to create some events that would just get the names of the businesses out.
Sure.
All right. They did that until about 2016 when she left and I came on board. A lot of the early events were done in parks in Farragut.
Okay.
So businesses would sponsor tables and had a lot of family stuff, a lot of crafts and art events, some music events, but all in the parks. Now I came on board in 2016, and the emphasis is more on creating our new DBA, Shop Farragut. They had the original idea was buy in Farragut.
Okay.
And that was the emphasis there for many years. But then when I came on in 2016, we actually registered and trademarked Shop Farragut. And that's the name I go by right now to accomplish all the things that we do. And well, 9 years ago in Village Green Shopping Center, Ricky's Pet Depot came in and was a brand new business. And I was trying to think of what I could do to help support that business. And talking with Kevin Human, and that's no pun, I mean, that's his name. Yeah, Mr. Human deals in pets. So he said that he had seen some dogs jumping in a swimming pool at some event and said that there's this organization, I think it's called DockDogs or Dogs Doc or something. And so I did some research, and it was always my idea to get these events and stuff that we're doing out of the parks and get them into the shopping centers where people could see the businesses that are in our shopping centers in Farragut that aren't up against the road. Village Green, you can drive right by and not see a store. You have to really look in there to see what businesses are there. And that's a lot of cities. That's just, you go to Hilton Head Island, you go to the beaches somewhere, and you don't even see that where the shopping centers are. So that was some of the idea. And so I contacted DockDogs, found out that there was actually a DockDogs club here in the Knoxville area, very organized club, by the way, uh, and got together with them and created this event. The first one, I guess it would have been the summer of 17, uh, and ended up being summer just because we didn't want to mess with the football season. And I also wanted to be in a situation where we were going to be prominent. If I was going to spend the money to do a regional event, you wanted to be in a certain time period with the DockDogs people. And because we're in August and they have to get their points to get to nationals by October,
Right.
you were in a good spot to attract dogs and all that. Jennifer talked more about all of that, but that's the things that I've learned. I'm not a dog person. I don't own a pet. And I rely on them a lot.
Cool.
So the idea was to create an event in a shopping center to drive people into that shopping center. And the rest is history right now. But
So Jennifer, tell me a little bit about Smoky Mountain DockDogs and your association with it and how you came about.
Right. So Smoky Mountain DockDogs, I believe they started around 2015-ish with a gentleman by the name of Trent Steele, who has become one of my best friends and my boss now.
Okay.
and a sponsor.
And
And a
sponsor,
sponsor
yeah,
for
the Dog Wizard. We are trainers, dog trainers. So what happened through him and how he got to start it and how a lot of us have gotten involved in the sport is we've had dogs that just needed something to do. They needed a job. They love water, they love toys, and you get a bunch of owners that love to compete themselves, and we compete through our dogs. And so anyway, it is a sport that you can do as little or as much as you want to do with it. DockDogs in particular has club events and they have national events. Club events, which is what Smoky Mountain DockDogs does, is we put on events ourselves and get sponsors, and it's a lot of work, especially in the middle of August when it is really, really hot. So as Steve has done is he's put on a national event, which does attract more people and a lot more big jumping dogs, so to speak, sometimes, because again, like he said, people are chasing invitations to worlds. You can't get an actual invitation from Village Ring, but it can help increase rankings and really help your because there are rankings invites that come into play. One year, I believe it was the year of COVID, we were an event that you could get a world's invitation from. But anyway, this is a really good event for us. There are several different disciplines within DockDogs. We have what most people know is big air, and that's how far the dog will jump into the pool. It measures distance. There's another one called speed retrieve, and it's how fast the dog can get down to the other end of the pool and pull a bumper down off of an apparatus. The next one is extreme vertical, and it's how high the dog can jump and pull it down.
I've seen those.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And then the newest discipline in DockDogs is called Dueling Dogs, and that's what Steve has brought on Friday, is Dueling Dogs, and it's basically doggy drag racing.
Okay.
There's a lot of adrenaline up there. It's one of the most fun events that a lot of us really go for is Dueling Dogs. So basically, it's like speed retrieve is how fast the dog can get to the end of the pool, but now it's two dogs on the dock, and there's an apparatus between the two dogs, so they can't get to each other.
I say it's like an Olympic pool.
Yeah.
You know, with
Yeah. And then in the pool, there's also an apparatus there separating the dogs, so we don't have any accidents. And then the dogs race down, they jump into the pool, and then whichever dog pulls the bumper down first wins. Basically, doggy drag racing. There are lights, so it's basically like the light system when drag racing. It goes red, yellow, green, and there's a marker at the beginning. So it is it's one of the biggest handler dog team competition or discipline, so to speak, because a lot of it has to do with the handler's reaction because they can't false start. because there is a box there and they can't cross that line. So there are lasers up there, so it will let you know if you false start and that run does not count.
Wow.
Then yeah, there's buyback ins, just like with drag racing. Like if you don't like your score, you can buy back in. So
Okay.
that's it's a lot of fun. We have a
Wow.
lot of fun with Dueling Dogs.
So this
And
is
that's Friday. It starts off the festival
okay.
on Friday afternoon, 4 o'clock. And it goes from 4 to 7, maybe longer if they're competing a lot. But
Yeah, depends on how that all goes, but there will be finals there, and then at the end of the weekend there are finals as well.
Now, Dog Days is the nationally sanctioned event.
Correct.
So I was
Correct.
reading that people as far away as Florida and Ohio come even further.
Absolutely. Yep, absolutely. All surrounding states, Michigan, Kentucky, Indiana, North Carolina, South Carolina. Yep,
Wow.
absolutely.
well, they can set a record in the pool in Farragut, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
world record could be set by any of the competing dogs. Where a lot of the club
Right.
events that
Yeah.
doesn't happen.
No, because one of the biggest differences between a club event and a national event is how the dogs are judged, how far they go in. With a national event, they have a camera that is measuring 60 frames per second, and they still frame it to where they can see exactly where the dog enters the pool. Now with a club event, you have two judges standing there, and they are eyeballing it, and you've got human error involved in that. So absolutely.
Nice. So Steve, what does an event like this do for a town the size of Farragut?
Well, it grows over years. That's the main thing. Excuse me. I get the Tennessee Valley Fair is coming up here, for example. That's 105 years of that going on, and it just grows, and people know about it, and they look forward to it, and all of that. So we've grown it to a point now where even the dog owners are expecting something in Farragut in August to happen. Um, and the local people, I've seen families bring their children, and I'm watching these children grow each year. They bring them back, and for the non-competing dog owners, they just love to come here and show off their dogs. A lot of those dogs wouldn't get near the pool. They're not water dogs at all, but the owners certainly love to come visit the vendors that we have and to just take part of a wonderful community event.
Now, I read last year there was over 10,000 people attended.
Well,
Is that accurate?
yeah, it depends on weather
Okay.
and the flow of the crowd. Sometimes I was amazed as I did a visual scan. It's not 10,000 people all at once.
Right.
And because it's over 3 days, it just kind of grows and swells. There's a whole movement to the crowd. And there's never, any huge lines to talk to the vendors and stuff. But some of the vendors do get crowded a little bit. And we've got more and more pet-oriented vendors coming in right now. And I have 5 different vet clinics and medical centers that are all major sponsors now that are coming in. We even have dog chiropractic coming in this year so people learn about their businesses and what have you. So, but I also have home builders. I've got TNT seal coating coming in with their booth. So if you've got your driveway, you can go around in between the competitions and go and talk to people, get a meal at the food truck, sit down underneath the festival tent, and also get a cocktail if you're interested, because we have a full liquor license for the weekend.
That's a good time. It's a real good time. So you're talking about maybe how many vendor booths? I was reading about 50 vendor booths.
No, we're pushing 65 right
Wow,
now.
okay.
And some of the vendors too, I have a handful of vendors that I give free space to, and that's like Smoky Mountain Service Dogs. There's a couple other rescues involved in that. We have a couple of churches and other people involved. So we got everything from nonprofits to, like I said, home builders.
So this is really a type of event if you're a dog lover or an animal lover and you're looking for information about local animal related organizations
Services,
and services,
yeah.
come to this because pretty much all under one roof at this point.
Yeah, Zoom grooming's coming over there. Some mobile dog grooming people. Of course, Ricky's Pet Depot is a major sponsor, and they've got a big tent right there, and their store is open the whole time. You walk right to their store there at Village Green.
Can you give us a hint of the food trucks that are coming?
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Well, Mucho Gusto will be back,
Okay.
and then we have the Hot Dog Hut,
Okay.
and then
Nice.
I'm trying to think of who else there, but there's also restaurants and other stores right there in Village Green. So,
That's awesome.
oh yeah, we got cookies, cookies.
Cookies, yes, yes.
So we got a lot of desserts, and we have plenty of ice cream and shaved ice for the kids. So,
Oh, that's awesome. Jennifer, how important is it to have support on a local level like this to be able to put on these type of events?
It's extremely important to keep our Smoky Mountain DockDogs going as well. Sometimes it's hard to get an event going and to keep our dogs doing what they love to do. Our dogs get so excited when they see that big blue pool. They absolutely lose their mind, more so than just going to the lake and jumping off a dock or something, because the crowd really gets, everybody cheering them on really gets them excited. So to continue to do what we do, it's vital. We haven't had very many local events in the area, and we're trying to change that. Actually, we've got another local business that's looking onto putting on an event for us possibly next year. So having this large of an event, we also do one in Maryville. That's a club event somewhere on Broadway. When other businesses see this going on and what it can do for them to help promote their business, it is vital to keep that going. So it's extremely important.
So you were saying a lot of these ones, you can have the big events that we're doing here, but you can also have showcases where a business can bring you guys out to showcase
Absolutely.
their business, but also highlight you guys as well.
Absolutely. Yep.
yeah, the main thing is getting the pool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find a space for that.
Yep.
When you're looking at putting on this type of event, and this is for both of you on either side, how much planning goes in and how much lead time do you need to make something like this happen? I know you're probably already planning next year, Steve.
Well, I'm definitely holding the dates already,
right.
but I have to sign contracts because early on, you don't want to go. It's usually about 10 months that I'll get the contract started, and because it's a long, extended relationship with DockDogs, which now goes by Dogs Events. DockDogs a couple of years ago got bought out by the Iditarod.
Yeah, I did right.
And so there's all this whole canine world out there that I'm just learning about. But I have to get the contracts going so that they'll hold the pool of the equipment and everything and get it on the schedule, because there's only so many of these pools that are going out across the country. Probably in Canada too. Yeah, they do a lot in Canada.
We actually have DockDogs in Australia and Italy now, and I think there's one getting started up in England. So it's across the world. Yeah, this is a worldwide organization.
So English bulldogs jumping. That'll be great. That'll be
I've
awesome.
seen a couple of those. They were jumping in life jackets. It's pretty neat.
So, yeah, it starts that far ahead. And then I have 2 periods where I have to come up with deposits to keep moving forward, because everything is so flexible. And we are very blessed to have weather that we can compete in each year, where I'm sure they have some situations in other states at other times of the year that are not so favorable. But
Oh yeah, I've been in a lot of those, and we keep jumping as long as there's no thunder or lightning. We keep jumping.
Wow.
Yep.
and only once has that happened over our 9-year history so far. We had to postpone for about an hour.
Right.
So vendor booths and sponsorship help offset the cost and are important to be able to continue this event for years to come. So what do you look for when you are out there trying to get sponsors to the event? Is there a certain,
I,
especially for this type of event? I mean, Shop Fair gets a little different because you put on a lot of different events that have themes.
well,
So
it's a family audience. I mean, that's what I sell to the sponsors. And so I have sponsor. I mean, Window Hero is one of our sponsors, and he does pressure washing and cleans windows and roofs. You know, and I mean he sees the value of that of those families coming over with their kids in their homes that need to be cleaned and all that.
sure.
So he's one of our sponsors. But of course, I have with this dog event, I've got sponsors like the Village Vet and Concord Veterinary right here in Farragut. They're at the sponsorship levels. But I have a lot of banks that want to talk to families too. So
Sure.
Southeast Bank has always been a very strong supporter of what we're doing. Uh, but I don't really look for any other than I try to sell what the event's about to our sponsors. Without sponsors, it just doesn't make sense. But even the town of Farragut knows how important this event is, and they are our major give us a major grant to make sure that at least our infrastructure costs are taken care of.
Nice.
With the pool, the fencing, the porta potties, the
All the
permits.
logistics that have there.
It goes on and on.
So again, kind of the same question for both of you because it's going to be a different answer here. How do you measure success beyond the attendance in numbers? How do you measure success at this event?
I would say seeing the smiles and the joy on everybody's faces when they're watching the dogs. Yeah, I love to see that. Whether I'm watching the dog jump 32 feet or if I'm watching the dog jump 2 feet, it's all about how much fun everybody has and just bringing smiles to faces. It's very rewarding to see that, especially the kids just loving to see all of that. It's just making people happy.
Okay.
Well, what you making dogs happy? I count success when all of those they call them waves. Every event during the competition they call them waves
Mhm.
of competition, and when the registrations for each of those waves is maxed out, that you can call that success.
Yeah.
My success comes when I go back to that Village Green Shopping Center, and the store owners are very thankful because they have to put up with all their parking being taken and other issues going on with the large crowds that we get. But they also see that there's new foot traffic, and uh, Ricky Pet Depot always has a major sales weekend. I used to use Snappy Tomato Pizza,
Mm.
which I used them as a barometer because they had their number one sales day of the entire year would be the Saturday of Doc Dogs. So,
Nice.
Probably a lot of competitors going on there too.
oh, yeah.
For sure. So Steve, for towns outside of Farragut or people listening that are involved, they want to create a signature event in their town. They haven't done one yet. What's one tip you would give to somebody who's looking to get something started?
Well, I think they have to read their town in a way. I think of Bonnaroo in Manchester. I think of a lot of different music festivals that people have started, but they're different types of music too. If your town is more bluegrass, then there's ways of doing that. Get that community together. We got the dog community together here. Our next event for Shop Farragut, our big event is Harvest Fest, which is a fall event that really didn't take off until I added a Halloween costume contest to it. It was more of a music festival
Yes.
with featuring some of our more vibrant local talent, and it was all about food and music. But then by adding the Halloween costume, it blew up. And so we'll be going in the 4th year of Harvest Fest with a Halloween costume contest at the end of October, the Sunday before Halloween.
Okay.
And it's, so I think you have to find something that latches on. Oak Ridge has an azalea festival, or did, but their lavender festival is a big deal. So think about those kind of things that create some energy and help the volunteer base, because you need the volunteer. I need the Smoky Mountain DockDogs people to help put that pool up and all that. Now the vendors and the fencing and all that other stuff I can do because that's what I do. But I don't touch the dogs. I'll help them put stuff up, but the dogs are their bailiwick, and it works out great because I have that volunteer base built right in.
That's awesome.
Mm.
All right, quick favor. If you're loving this episode, you know someone who'd enjoy dogs, food, fun, or just a great local story, send this episode their way. And don't forget to visit theprosperitylounge.com to join our free community, grab our free budgeting tools, and find out what's shining light on this month. When we grow, we're a part of it. So check us out. Also, you can listen to any of the past episodes on any of your favorite podcast networks: Apple, Spotify, iHeart, Amazon, YouTube, and more. And you can always catch the live stream. And we watch the videos every day on YouTube at the Prosperity Lounge. All right, so I want to shift focus a little bit to the event itself. You talked about the different types of things that are going to happen: big air, speed retrieve, dueling dogs, all that stuff. I always enjoy watching you kind of alluded to it a little bit, the little dogs, who like just barely get off the edge of the pool and dive right in.
Yeah.
And like the little legs are going. Yeah. It's one of my favorite things to watch. And then, of course, the big air at the end. You see those little ones in the beginning, and you stick around for the end. You see the guys almost at the edge of the pool. Part of that is, you said the crowd gets into it, and we've seen that before where the dogs kind of get up there and they get a little nervous. They run to the edge and they just kind of stop.
Right.
And then the crowd gets into it, and they finally go and they just freak out, roar for the dog. I mean, you can see them the dog kind of get excited by it and want to do it again.
Yeah.
This year, you're talking about 150 registered dogs in the event. And last year's registration sold out pretty quickly. I read here under an hour.
It was
Just take it.
yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, it was pretty. Especially the disciplines of extreme vertical and speed retrieve.
Yeah.
There are limited spots.
Okay.
So those tend to sell out very, very quickly. And I don't even know if I got in last year, honestly. I didn't know it was going live, and I didn't get in. I had to stand, was it Friday afternoon or Saturday morning? When it's Saturday morning. And you have people camping out there waiting to get a spot because there's limited spots on site after they sell out online. So, yeah.
Now, the new thing this year you talked about is the dueling dogs, and that takes the place of the open jump.
They call that the tri-dock dogs, and I named it the Pooch Plunge, just for marketing reasons. And that gave local people an opportunity to bring their dog over and see if they would even jump in the pool. And that was nice, but I wanted to mix it up this year. And also, I think it's run its course a little bit, and they can go to the club events to do some of that. And I hope that the dueling dog racing will get people excited, and those that like to sports bet can.
I've seen that happen. Absolutely.
You're going to start the side bets in the corner, actually.
Well, Joey, you know, I mean, you're going to be over there probably doing a little hustle, a side hustle.
I'd have to check the rankings out and the stats first.
No, as we talk about, I guess we should mention that all of this is free.
Yes.
It's free. You don't have to spend a penny to come out, and it's very free flowing. We do have entrance areas, but that's all wide open, and you just come into the event after you get parked, and make sure you do all your rounds and be there for the events that you want to see. Of course, I think everybody should see all of them, but
Yeah, we always have a good time going out. We came here in 2022 and have gone every year since. Like,
Mhm.
you were talking about the Harvest Fest. That was the first year. I think 22 was the first year of the costumes.
Mhm.
That was our first Harvest Fest that we went to.
Mhm.
I've still yet to dress up. One year I might.
Well, you can dress up for dog days too,
Oh yeah,
and some of the dogs do, as a matter of fact.
I guess I could. Yeah, we always have a good time going down and just watching the dogs jump. And I always try to take some good videos, slow motion of them getting the, grabbing that thing in the big air and stuff. And I always have a good time. Now, I read something about ESPN.
Yeah, they used to be on ESPN,
Okay.
DockDogs. Well, there are several different organizations to jump your dog with, and they used to be on ESPN. Now, mainly, it is another organization that is on that they've got a partnership with.
Okay.
But you don't see a whole lot of DockDogs on ESPN anymore. But
Okay.
Purina Propylene Challenge or something like that, and that's along with another organization.
Follow the money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, just real quick, I have to, before we end this thing, thank my sponsor, First Utility District, because without the 27,000 gallons of water that they give to us, there's no way that DockDogs is going to
Right.
happen there. So
It's a lot of water.
I want to thank Bruce Giles and all the good folks over there because they helped coordinate opening up that fire hydrant, and then rural metro firemen come over, and that'll be Friday morning, the 15th, coming up here. If people want to come over and see how a pool is filled through a fire hose, it's pretty exciting to see that all
So some
done.
extra free entertainment Friday morning.
Yeah.
Starts.
Too bad
Love that.
kids will be at school.
That's right. Maybe it's a good excuse to take off that day. You
Yeah.
didn't hear from here.
Field trip.
Absolutely. So there's much more to this event than the competition itself. You guys are having a silent auction again this year.
Yeah, we normally, Smoky Mountain DockDogs host a silent auction where we have a lot of different gift baskets, and you pay X amount of money for a certain amount of tickets, certain number of tickets, and the money that we raise for that goes to what we call the Bark Foundation. The Bark Foundation was started by DockDogs, but it's a 501c3, and the money that's raised helps goes to the community for DockDogs competitors in times of need. For example, a dog tears its ACL. That's a really expensive surgery and recovery, and without some help sometimes from the community, without each other helping, without us helping each other out. I've even heard stories of somebody having a fire and they helped give some funds to that family. But it just helps the community out.
I love that.
Yeah.
For someone new to DockDogs and they have a really energetic pup, they want to try this out.
Right.
What would you suggest as the easiest event to start with?
I would say the easiest thing to start with would, there are two places here in town that have pools. Ultima off of Love Road has a pool. And then it was not actually in town. It's up in Morristown called Smoky Mountain Canine Sports. That's where Smoky Mountain DockDogs practices because they have a regulation size docking pool. Ultima, if you want to stay local here, great place. And it's small, it's quiet. And that's where we've seen sometimes dogs struggle in the tryouts on Fridays or the pooch plunge, as Steve called it, where there's a lot going on, and sometimes a dog can get really stressed out with all of the activity going on. So I would start with a quiet pool, maybe some instruction from one of those organizations, or give Smoky Mountain DockDogs a call, and we can direct you or help you get started.
And what's that number they can call?
Us,
Yeah.
internet, Facebook Messenger, or we don't actually have it. We are a volunteer organization too, and we don't have a
President at Smoky Mountain
president of
DockDogs.
Smoky Mountain DockDogs.
.com.
We have a website, SmokyMountainDockDogs.com. and you can reach out to us and we can help guide you and see where you're at. Coming to Village Green and trying it for the first time, the dogs ever jumped off a dock can be. We're setting them up for
I've seen
failure.
more during that period we had that. I saw more of the masters go into the pool than the
Right.
dogs.
Yeah, but it's best with even dog training, because I'm a dog trainer too. Even with any type of dog training, it's best to start with calm, familiar environments and working their way into distractions. And the event that Village Green and Dog Days has grown into, probably not might be the best one to start at.
Well, perfect. My next question is, how much training does it take for a dog to be competition ready?
It depends on the dog. It really does. I've got a lab. Well, I've got 4 labs, and they just did it. I mean, their foot hit the water, and it was like something switched in their brain. But we have dogs that are very toy driven that don't necessarily like the water. That can be worked with. And I've seen even my best friend, this was the best analogy that I ever have used to help people to get their dogs off the dock, was she didn't give up. It took her 5 years, but she did not give up on her dog. He had toy drive, he had athleticism, but the confidence wasn't there. And she never gave up. She just kept working with him, positively trying. And after 5 years, he jumped off the dock, and he doesn't dock dive anymore, but he did go to the World Championships several years. So it's just don't give up, and be patient.
Do you see repeat competitors year after year?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I would imagine so. I'm sure there's some rivalries that
Yeah.
come up.
Well, we're friendly rivalries. Yeah, very, very friendly rivalries.
Sure.
Yep. And the good thing about dock dogs too, and most jumping organizations, dock jumping organizations, is because you have a 2-foot jumping dog, you don't have to compete against the 30-foot jumping dogs. There are different divisions, and you'll see those on the pool next weekend. And as long as your dog jumps 5 times within that division, you compete against those dogs.
Okay.
So it doesn't have to be intimidating. You don't have to worry that your dog is only jumping a few feet. As long as your dog is having fun, do
That's
it.
all that matters.
That's all that matters. We have a short time with these guys. So,
Yeah, no, and it's good that they do the classes, because the weight of some of those big dogs, I mean, they'll get out there, but they're not going to do the 40-footers like the whippets.
yeah, the whippets are taking over the sport.
Yeah.
Crazy. Can you share an underdog story from past competitions, maybe with yourself or somebody you've seen competing at?
Underdog stories.
About
So
Tank.
take the one
Love the name
that
already.
stands out the most, right off the top of my head, is there is a competitor down in Georgia. She and her husband rescues pitties, shelter dogs, and she had there's this dog named Lily. There was a shelter out in North Dakota. Somehow they got in touch with each other, and she rescued this pup. It was already swimming, a little bit. Well, her first competition was her first national competition, I believe, was in Village Green a couple of years ago, and this dog just flew off the dock. So it doesn't have to be a dog that you raise from a pup. It doesn't have to be
Purebred.
Yeah, purebred dogs. Any dog can do it, but the fact that this dog came from a shelter and nobody wanted her, it was a tearjerker. Even at Worlds, they made a story about her at our Worlds competitions, and
Hit the video screen.
yeah,
huh?
it was a tearjerker to see that this dog came from. Nobody wanted her because she was too high maintenance, too high drive to now competing on the national level and going to Worlds, and this dog will fly, and I believe they're coming this weekend. So
Nice.
you'll see Lily. They call her Lily the Kid.
All right, so put your bets on Lily this weekend.
Right? Yep.
I love that story because we were went to Dollywood recently, and they had their
Stunt dog show. Yeah, I just went there last
and
weekend.
a lot of the dogs they're talking about were adopted out of shelters.
Mhm.
And a lot of times it's just finding the right environment for the dog to be in. They thrive. Maybe they're just not thriving in your home or thriving in the environment, but don't give up on them.
Right. Absolutely. Finding the right home for them is the key there. A lot of people just don't know what to do with these dogs. They get dogs that they're really active and they're not active, and it's just the wrong.
Well, we're going to have a lot of those services available at the vendors. There's people that, like the Dog Wizard, will have a booth, and all these different trainers, and
Yeah.
of course, physical doctor type medical services. But there'll be people there. You can talk as much dog as you need to, and maybe you'll find somebody you can hook up with and get your puppies doing what you think they should be doing, or they should be think what they should be doing.
Yeah, a lot of dogs, they don't have any outlet, they don't have direction, and they end up doing things you don't want them to do. So this is an outlet. This is how a lot of us got started, is because our dogs needed outlets.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, for about 20 years before moving here, we did pet sitting and dog walking and some dog training as well. So getting to see the dogs kind of thrive in their environment,
Right. Yep.
I love watching this.
Yep.
There's a lot of fun. And if you stand close to the pool on a hot day, you may get splashed.
You might get
There's a splash
splashed,
zone.
yeah.
Not as big as SeaWorld splash zone. You get splashed.
Well, you want to get splashed on Friday because by Sunday that pool water is
It's
something.
pretty gross. Yeah. I want to help them set up, not tear down.
Yeah,
There's a lot of hair that comes out of that pool.
Oh gosh. Oh man. Whew, got me there for a second.
I got you. There you
You
go.
sure did.
Remind people it's free.
Yeah, it's free. Come on down. It's free.
Come on over and bring family, bring friends. And the parking is really close, so it's not like you're gonna have to walk to the state fair. So
No, there's always plenty of parking where we've gone and never had an issue.
Mm.
It's a lot of fun. So what I like about this event, the events that you guys put on at Shop Farragut is, we'll say this one too, it's not just about the dogs, it's about community, it's about business, it's about fun, you know. So Steve, how can businesses, residents get involved? Is it too late to still get a booth?
no, because it's a parking lot. I've got plenty of room.
Okay.
And we all you do is get a hold of me. Steve at shopfarragut.com. I'm the easiest guy to get a hold of. And we work it out to see what the business wants and what it needs. I'll give them the space they need to bring their tent and other tables, chairs, and all of that. But it's a very reasonable fee for the whole weekend. So just get a hold of me at Steve at shopfarragut.com, 865-307-2486.
Perfect.
So
Go ahead and rule of radio is repeated twice.
865-307-2486.
You got advanced there, say it.
Yeah.
Say it twice.
Shopfarragut.com. We're also on Instagram and Facebook, and we have an old X account at Farragut Biz.
Nice.
So if you get any of that, I'm pretty easy to get a hold of, and a lot of people will just call the town of Farragut and they'll send them my way. So
Perfect. And I assume, based on what we're talking about, registrations are pretty filled up for the actual competition.
Right. There might be one bigger wave left open that I saw a couple of days ago.
Okay.
And there will be on-site registration though, so they
So
can come out
come
Friday
camp
morning.
out.
I believe registration starts at 9 a.m. on Saturday, so they can still register on site.
So come camp out, be there for
Right.
Saturday
Bring
morning.
your camping chairs, sit in line and wait.
And if you can't register, if it ends up closing, stick around for the event. It's free.
Right, absolutely.
Have fun, support the fellow canine competitors. I love that. Okay, so this is Friday through Sunday, August 15th through 17th, next weekend. Village Green Shopping Center at Farragut next to the Planet Fitness. Friday nights, Dueling Dogs kick off. Saturday and Sunday, all the competitions. What's your personal routine for a weekend like this?
It's a lot. Getting ready for this can sometimes, it depends, maybe a weekend here isn't as bad, but when I travel, it can take several days to prepare to get dog food ready, making sure the dogs get fed early enough before their jumps so that it doesn't affect them. But packing everything up, all the supplies that we're going to need, fans, water, crates, towels. But as far as Smoky Mountain DockDogs is concerned, we will set up a tent as well, and we'll have information there of how to join the club, what's involved, and maybe some upcoming competitions we might have, just any information they might need to get involved in Dock Dogs. We have merchandise there for sale too. We have some hats and t-shirts. So that can take a little bit of preparation, but with a national event, we don't have to prepare as much as we do for a club event, but there's still some preparation. But
I didn't even think of that. If you're local, it's less prep than if you
yeah,
have to
a lot
travel.
less prep. Yep.
And it falls on Jennifer's shoulders as president of the club. So
This is my first year as president, so give me some leeway here. But I have been a member of Smoky Mountain for, I think, since about 2013. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. So how do you, Jennifer, this would be for you too, maybe Steve a little bit. How do you coordinate volunteers for the event? And we talked a little bit about sponsors and stuff already, but volunteers and say competitors, how do you get that word out? They're just expecting that every August, sorry, I gotta sign up, waiting for the thing to drop, or is there a lot of like promotion that goes into getting the word out that we're having this event again?
Well, on our side, theoretically, we don't have to because it's a national event. Dock Dogs will supply crew to do things, but we always help out. I mean, we're the volunteer state. We're going to help out. So we put a sign-up sheet out for our club members, and helping put the pool up, helping tear it down. There are particular things in between or during the competition that's going on to where we want to make sure that a particular dog is jumping on time and everybody's where they're supposed to be. So we do have club members that will help out with that. Let's see, what else?
well, club members help me fix up the
Fix- yeah,
festival.
the-
The
set up
festival
the
tent.
tables.
We have
Yeah,
tables and chairs.
So we help them.
Yeah. And of course, I have a board of directors, and there's a certain Joey Ruffalo that's on it that's going to work real hard this year. But my board of directors comes out and will help on various things. And they come through periodically too, just to see the crowds, see how it's going, see if this was a worthwhile investment of our time and money. And so it's a community thing. And when we're tearing down, of course, my daughter and her husband and all that, they come over and help me get all the trash off the site. So
Any you'll never forget this type of moments from past years that you just like you look back on and go, wow.
I just remember this whippet that tore it up. I mean, she laughs, but it set records in our pool, or got really close to some world records
Yeah.
in our pool. And and you don't know because there's so much going on unless you're really tuned in to watching the dogs.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Some of this will just go by you, that you have to really take the time to sit down and watch. And it can be addictive at times, just staring at the pool and waiting for those dogs to launch themselves. But that was one of them. We've been blessed that even though it's warm out there in the parking lot in August, we really haven't had any emergencies or any medical things like that over the years. Because we keep it free flowing. We have lots of fans going on, and I bring in little spritzers too. So
If I remember correctly, it was either last year or the year before. It was really hot.
we've
Every year. Every
yeah,
year.
every year is going to be warm, but I think this year we might stay in the low 90s. So
I think I was putting my feet in the kiddie pool a little bit.
and some of the sponsors will be bringing splash pads for the dogs. So
Yeah, for sure. Where do you see, or how do you see Dog Days evolving over the next 3 years, 5 years, 10 years?
Well,
You look shocked when I said 10 years, like you're still gonna be doing it, but yeah,
it's becoming something that people look forward to. So I think you can plan it out that way. One of the things that came up about 2 years ago was whether or not to add an additional day to it. And that will take some time and coordination because it puts a lot more stress on those volunteers, on the club, on of other things. But uh, the there's a lady in Morristown that suggested the idea because some of the big ones, I guess there's one in North Carolina. It's a 4-day event. So
wow.
Yeah,
But-
there's one out there, and it's more, it's out in the middle of nowhere, and it's a great event, but it's a big campsite basically, and people can come and set up their RVs there, so that makes it easier for somebody coming to compete with 10 dogs because they can't take 10
It's like a
dogs to a
festival
hotel.
atmosphere.
Yeah, like, I don't say Bonnaroo, but
Yeah.
you know,
Mhm.
they come and
Bonnaroo
they
dogs,
come with
love
their
it.
campers and RVs and they hang out there all weekend, and it's a fun time.
But I mean, there might be some growth in time and in events and that, but really, we we haven't maxed out the parking lot yet, but we do need places for people to park. So
Sure.
uh, I think we can make it a little more just exciting with maybe some more additional food trucks and what have you, and then. Uh, But by 5 o'clock though on Saturday, everybody's pooped. So there's not much more you want to do. But you want to get ready for Sunday morning. And we changed up the schedule last year
Mhm.
so that the dogs would be rested to start with the extreme vertical.
Mhm.
When they used to put the extreme vertical at the end of Saturday, and you have dogs jumping uh, all day and then try to do the extreme vertical going up, they're kind of pooped out. So
Yeah.
for those dogs that want to be iron dogs, which I'll let Jennifer.
Yeah, so Iron Dogs is a separate discipline, so to speak, but you don't see it. It is a dog that can compete in each one of those disciplines: big air, extreme vertical, and speed retrieve. And when you get a score, it assigns you a point. There's a point system,
Okay.
and then it adds it all up, and then that is your Iron Dog score. So that's pretty taxing on a dog to be able to do
Sure.
every one of the disciplines. And the extreme vertical is there's a lot of pressure put on the hind legs, and it's difficult for the dogs. It takes a lot out of them. So we are constantly preparing. As far as a lot of us will do, there's doggy muscle builder, there's recovery supplements for them. And I'm excited to hear that there's a chiropractor on site, so maybe we can go
Yeah.
take a look at them. My dog does go to the chiropractor every few months, so yeah. So the Iron Dog is a separate competition, and it's kind of the elite of the dogs.
Wow. Okay. I love all that. This is so much fun. If you haven't come out, you need to stop by just for a little bit and watch this. This is just a lot of fun. So get ready to wrap up here because we're getting close. Wow. I guess we're great. Thank you so much.
No, we're happy to have an opportunity to talk about it because it is something that has to be explained. I think
Yeah.
when I first brought up the idea to the board of directors 9 years ago, they looked at me like a card looks at a card trick,
Right.
and or a chicken looks at a card trick, and it took that first year to see how exciting it could be, and I think we started with 24 vendors that year, and now we're well over 65, and it's just grown every single year, and you learn so much about the community and about what's going on. And if you're a pet lover, it'll just explode your mind.
Absolutely. So this brings us into our Q&A, which is one of my favorite parts of the show. We've got listeners who've sent them some questions via Facebook or Instagram or however. Some of them look like we probably already answered them, but we'll go through them real quick. And I got some from the chat real fast here too. Jess in Knoxville asked if this was a family-friendly event or leave the kids at home, and I'll just say bring everybody.
Absolutely.
Definitely bring everybody. Brad in North City asked about bringing their own dog to watch. It's kind of encouraged, right?
Well,
To a point.
we don't have, if your dog likes crowds, the few things, once in a while, we'll have to watch the dogs get together in the crowd. But if your dog likes crowds and just bring your little picker-upper stuff, you're good.
Yeah, just watch out for the heat too, and the dogs paw pads on the pavement, and they can heat up really quickly.
Yeah, and we have little carpeted areas to watch for. But yeah, your dogs will be on walking back and forth on asphalt. So.
And then we had a couple in the chat here. Somebody asked if Water to Wine was going to be there.
Oh.
Water to Wine.
Oh
They
yeah,
have
absolutely.
been, yeah,
Water
they're
and
here.
wine
They're my
is our
favorites.
official beverage, adult beverage service.
So yes, Water
So-
to Wine
Yes.
will be there. Here's one. It's about the 27,000 gallons of water. Do they fill the dog pool with a hose or multiple hoses? Or another way, how long does it take to fill up the pool? And then what happens to the water after? Do they let it go in the field?
They get real metro out there, and we get a fire truck and they fill it up. It probably doesn't take, I don't know, what, an hour at most?
90 minutes at the most.
Yeah.
And they top it off. They come in a day early to flush the hydrant, so there's no rust stains or anything else. That water is pure Tennessee filtered river water. Okay. And that first day, that pool looks so inviting, especially after you've been working all day.
Setting everything up. Yep.
And then when it's time to break down, they literally have sump pumps that pump the water out right into the drains of the parking lot and into a field that's right behind the pool along the entrance to Village Green Shopping Center.
Nice. One smart aleck in the chat here said, how many gallon jugs of water do they fill the pool? 27,000 gallon jugs they use to fill the pool. Smarty. So here's some key takeaways, guys. We're getting ready to wrap up here. There's more than dogs jumping in the pools. This is what happens when a town invests in a community, when businesses show up and people cheer each other on, sometimes with pause. I want to say thank you to Steve Krempasky, Shop Farragut, Jennifer Belle of Smoky Mountain DockDogs for joining me, and for what you're doing to bring energy and excitement to East Tennessee. Thank you guys so much.
Pleasure.
Key takeaway recap here: small town events can have a big time economic and community impact. Dog Daze IX is blending some local fun with national prestige, and attending or supporting helps keep these events thriving. And again, it's free to come. August 15th through the 17th, next weekend, Village Green Shopping Center in Farragut, Tennessee. It's free, and always free.
They can look at the schedule at shopfarragut.com.
Exactly. 27,000 gallons of water in a pool. And again, learn more at shopfarragut.com, like Steve said. Smoky Mountain DockDogs.com. And you can always visit us at theprosperitylounge.com. So, until next time, everybody, stay faithful, stay fearless, and remember, freedom lives where faith and action meet. The lounge is always open, and so is your next breakthrough. This is the Prosperity Lounge. And those of you in the chat, I'm going to throw a special video up here showing you a little behind the scenes of DockDogs. So hold on as I play this.
Get ready for Dog Daze IX, starting August 15th. This 3-day festival of fun, food, and shopping is highlighted by the Smoky Mountain DockDogs Canine Diving Competition. The entire weekend is free to the public. Learn more at shopfarragut.com.